So have you started recording yet? Okay. I can hear you fine. Can you put earpiece in? Hello, hello, hello. They can hear me. Well, as Nancy Jean was saying, I know about the Yule log, and the Yule log is not something you eat. Actually, it's not bûche de Noël. It's actually a log that you go out and get, and you drill holes in it. You put candles, you put greenery, you put some herbs on it, and you light it. And you want to burn it, and it usually lasts for several days, actually. And the idea of that is the smoke is cleansing all the time, like you're smudging, and you've got that light, and you're going from the darkest, deepest, darkest night into the light. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. We love it. Nod your head, Nancy Jean. We love it, right? Yes, good. Well, you can nod. So should I just go into the presentation? Okay, well, I thank Nancy so very much for giving me the honor of being a healer, but I don't really consider myself a healer. And I wanted to make that clear. I have a lot of, if you look at me as being a source of electricity, and people that I work on are like a lamp. They kind of like plug into me and it turns on. So I'm like, I channel a source energy. they're the healer. I'm not the healer. They're the healer. I'm the electricity. So that being said, thank you very much. I'm going to go into keto, and I want to give credit to the people that I've studied. And some of them are the same ones that Nancy Jean has studied, and that's Thomas DeLauer, Eric Berg, Dr. Barry. I don't think she mentioned the carb addiction doc, but he's really interesting. Dr. Sten Eckbert, who is he's a doctor, a naturopathic doctor, and he was also a decathlete. And Maria Emmerich, which I have a book here, which is unbelievable. So you may hear my birds in the background. I've got 3 parrots. So when I talk, they want to talk. The 2 people that are my go-to people now are Dave Asprey. He's the person who created Bulletproof Coffee, which is a big part of my life, and Dr. Mindy Pelz, and she has done a phenomenal amount on intermittent fasting and other types of fasting. So those are my go-to people. I have, I don't know, are you interested in the books? This book is essential. Oh, it's backwards. Are you seeing it backwards? Right side? It's by Maria Emmerich. This book has got more, I mean, it's got so much information in it. It isn't just a fluff book. She was overweight. She was also an athlete, and it was getting sick. So she adopted the ketogenic diet, as did her husband, and she has 2 adopted children, and they were young at the time that she wrote this book. And so she and both of her young children eat this way, keto way. This is a book for beginners, and it's by Amy Ramos, which is good. It's got basic stuff. It's not overwhelming. Maria Emmerich's book is like an encyclopedia. And then there's Dave Asprey. This is a simple cookbook. This is a heavy one. This one is really interesting, but I don't think she's online anymore. And Leanne Vogel. And then I have 2 by this couple. And they're really good. That's the end of my books. The thing that I wanted to mention before we really get into this is I don't want anybody to feel badly about their body if you have excess weight. The reason you have excess weight has to do with the divine intelligence of your body. And actually what is happening is that it's taking sugar stuff and it's putting it in places to actually save your life. So please don't, feel badly about yourself because you've gained weight. You can do it through this diet or this lifestyle for as long as you need to. That being said, the things that are essential. Electrolytes are essential when you do keto. And I have two right here. You're going to be detoxing, and you're going to be going to the bathroom a lot, and things are going to be washing out of your system. So this one here is Trace Mineral Drops, and I don't have anything to do with any of the companies that I'm representing here. These are just the stuff that I use, and sometimes people like to see that. So these are Trace Mineral Drops, and this is Endure, which is a performance electrolyte. This actually has more electrolytes in it than this one, and I just discovered that the other day. I'm almost done with this bottle, and I'll just do that. But here are two, and these are essential, as is salt. Sodium is essential, and I have some here. Now, some people like to use sea salt. Some people like to use Himalayan salt. Sea salt is getting a bad rap these days because of the pollution in the ocean. And there's some question whether Himalayan salt is actually really Himalayan salt. So this salt that I use is from a dried up ocean. This is called Redmond Real Salt. Right, and I love this salt. And this is just a package of it. You can also get it with the container that you use, and it grinds it up. So, essentials. And there are other minerals like magnesium, potassium, and we already talked about salt. And potassium is, and if you've looked at anything that Dr. Berg has produced, I mean, your body requires, I think it's 67 100 milligrams, 6700, a lot of milligrams of potassium daily. No, I got it wrong. It's 4,700 milligrams of potassium daily. And I mean, you can eat, Dr. Berg says, well, you can eat like 5 cups of salad a day. Well, 5 cups of salad a day is an extraordinary amount. So you may have to supplement. You know that you're deficient in potassium if you have restless leg, if you have little twitches in your leg. That's also, if you're low on magnesium as well. Calcium, magnesium, and potassium kind of go hand in hand. Calcium contracts, magnesium, potassium relaxes. So those are essentials. Now, before I go into prebiotics and resistant starch, I want to talk about Keto Mojo. That's a device that measures your ketones, and the newer ones measure your ketones and your blood sugar. And I think you have one of those, don't you? Which is, I think that's something that's essential. It'll let you know when you're in ketosis. It'll let you know, depending upon your blood sugar, if you're dumping sugar. If you're fasting and you're dumping sugar, it's because your body's getting rid of the stored sugar. So, I mean, it's really very valuable in many different ways, and I don't have anything to do with Keto Mojo. So that I believe that's an essential product, and it does both your sugar, blood sugar, and your ketones. And then there's another reading. There's, I think it's a combination of the two, and that tells you what your metabolism is doing, what type of healing state you're in ketosis. Now, prebiotics. essential for your gut. Okay. COU what? Oh, Coumadin. Well, then I guess, that's between you and your doctor. If you have a problem, you need to keep, excuse me? Can they hear you saying this? Okay, so here's the disclaimer. Don't take my word or Nancy Jean's word for anything. You consult with your doctor. That's the most important thing. If you have any special health conditions, and magnesium. I think magnesium is one of the most important minerals there is. However, if you have kidney disease, you don't want to take magnesium. So this talk is for educational purposes only. We are not here to take the place of your doctor and prescribe anything. You have any questions, I'll do the best that I can to answer them, but it's between you and your healthcare provider. Is that clear? Okay. So, prebiotics. These are essential. This is a kind, I have two that are pre-mixed. And that's these. This one, I think, is better than this one. I don't know how the light is good, but they're both very good. A prebiotic is a resistant starch, and a resistant starch is something that it doesn't metabolize in your system. It goes through your system, and it's there to feed your gut bugs. And when your gut bugs are fed, thank you, baby G. When your gut are fed, then you will not have cravings. They won't bug you. That's poor thing. And they get passed out through your intestines. Happy and fed, and out they go. This is one of them. It's banana flour, green banana flour. I think this one has so green banana flour, and then there's potato starch. These are both starches. They are just there to feed gut bugs and to provide a good microbiome in your body. Another thing that you can do, I don't have the potato starch here, but you can also cook your potatoes, and potatoes are not on keto, but you can make them into a resistant starch. So you cook your potatoes, you put them in the refrigerator overnight. The next day, you heat them up and you eat them, and they will pass through. They'll feed your gut bugs, and they will not raise your blood sugar. So you can do that yourself, or you can get these products. Now, these two I put in my coffee in the morning. They mix up really quickly, and they have no taste. And my gut bugs are happy. The other thing that is very important is hydrochloric acid. Here it is. Hydrochloric acid takes care, is what is the fluid inside of your stomach to aid in digestion. After the age of 50, what happens, here's that, and this is with pepsin and ginseng bitters, and they are really important, as are digestive enzymes. Betaine hydrochloric acid you take before meal, and digestive enzymes you take after your meal. They are essential. You should drink half your body weight in water, especially at the beginning of keto, because you will be detoxing. Now, through the detoxing, to help you out so you don't have keto flu that you hear about, what you can do is take charcoal and glutathione. Now, the charcoal, I have coconut charcoal here, but you can use other kinds of charcoal and glutathione. And what that does is it binds to the toxins so that you don't feel sick. And that is a blessing, because a lot of people who start the ketogenic diet, they don't feel good at the beginning. And Nancy Jean and I were talking earlier, and neither one of us had a problem with the keto flu, but my daughter did. You know, it does exist, and I think probably because we took a lot of minerals beforehand that it may not have affected us. Okay, let's see, where am I at here? Any questions? So Nancy is asking if I switch up what I eat, or do I have a set thing that I do all the time? And the answer to that is I switch it up. Now, I'm also a practitioner in hair tissue mineral analysis, and I do nutritional balancing. And one of the things that I learned through that is if you eat the same food more than 2 days in a row, you have a tendency to become allergic to it. So I'm always switching things up. And this is really important, not just in what you eat, but in how you fast. And I'm going to go into fasting next, unless you have more questions. That's one of those, I do not know about that. You need to talk to your doctor. I mean, that's just this, you know, these are little things that, you know, I do. So you need to talk to your doctor. You know, no. And Nancy just said we're not doctors and we don't even play them on TV. Was I supposed to repeat that? Okay, good. So I'm going to go into fasting and the benefits of fasting. Is that okay, Nancy? Jean? Oh, that's a wonderful thing. So Nancy's saying that yesterday she accidentally went into a 24-hour fast because one of the benefits of being on keto is that you're not hungry. If you're busy, you're not hungry. Maybe even if you're not busy, I don't know. Usually if I'm absorbed in something, I can go for very long periods of time without even eating. And sometimes without even drinking water, which is not a good thing. You need to drink. Very, very important. So here we go. We're going into fasting. There's intermittent fasting. There's several different types of fasting. And the first one we're going to talk about is intermittent fasting. That's like 13 to 16 hours. Now, in of not eating, which is it's really not as hard as you think it is, because most of the time you're sleeping. So if you had dinner at 6 o'clock, and no, not had dinner. If you finish dinner, that was something that I just learned recently. It isn't when you start to eat, it's when you finish eating. So if you finish eating at 6 o'clock and you sleep until 7, already you've fasted for 13 hours. So to get to the 13 to 15, you're already in the intermittent fasting range. And in that range, human growth hormone starts to be produced. You start to reduce inflammation. Fat burning begins. Increased ketones is being produced. And your energy and focus are happening. 13 to 16 hours, intermittent fasting. Now, if you fast for longer than that, that's called autophagy fasting. Now, autophagy means self-eating. So what it is auto means self, phagy is eating. So it's cleaning up your cells. It's like, I think of it as like little Pac-Man. So 17 hours, autophagy fasting, cellular detoxification, cellular repair, improved immune function, and cancer prevention. So now you're getting into the meat of the matter. So I think this is where, if you have inflammation, this is where it starts to improve with autophagy fasting. So now, here we go into 24-hour fasting, which Nancy Jean just did yesterday. This, I don't recommend this for any more than once a week. A lot of people do it every day, but if you're just starting off, don't, start off with the 13 to 16 and the autophagies, the up to 18, 20 hours. You want to start off slowly because it's your body adapting to a different fuel. You're going from sugar burning, which is a fast, quick energy. It's not sustaining. That's why after so many hours, just a couple hours, you're starving again, and you want, because of the addiction, you want to be fed. So, and sugar is very addictive. As compared to fat burning, which is slow and sustaining. So okay, so Nancy Jean is saying that, you're turning things around in your body and that you're burning the fat in your body. Well, that doesn't happen right away. What happens right away is you're adapting to fat burning. And that's when you get to what she's talking about, is you start to cut back on the amount of fat that you're eating so that you can burn fat that you have on your body. Is that right, Nancy Jean? Okay. So 24 hours is an entire gut reset fast. So Nancy Jean, you just reset your gut yesterday and produced intestinal stem cells. I mean, this gets me so excited I can't even begin to tell you. When your body starts producing stem cells, your body that you're regenerating. You're getting a brand new, whatever it is, you're getting it brand new. New stem cells are wonderful. So at 24 hours, you increase your GABA production, and GABA relaxes the brain. So your brain is going through a healing. And if you have an autoimmune problem, then you go into an autoimmune healing. That's 24-hour fast. That's, it's not as difficult as it seems. I do that almost every day. I get to almost 24 hours. I've only done 24 hours once, and it was because we lost the power. And I said, "Oh, this would be a good day to fast." And I was surprised on how easy it was. So that's the gut reset fast, 24 hours. 36 hours, we go into a fat burner fast. So at 36 hours, day and a half, your glucose stores are being reduced. Your insulin stores are being reduced. You've increased your fat burning, detoxification, and you're into anti-aging. Now, 36 hours is pretty cool because your body, I have a piece of paper, so your body stores sugar in a certain way. First, it's stored in the blood, then in the liver, then in the muscles, then in the fat, and then advanced stages of sugar are the brain and the eyes. So we're not going to talk about brain and the eyes because those are, diabetics, people who are diabetic, you often see them changing their eyeglasses every 3 months because they're advanced that much. The other thing about, the blood sugar, there's a certain thing that happens. I don't know. If you're in a fasted state and your blood sugar, you measure your glucose, if your blood sugar is going up, not to panic, because what is actually happening is that your body is dumping the sugar into the blood out of the body. So that is a good thing. Now there's another one too. If you get up in the morning and your blood sugar is really high, like around 2 o'clock in the morning, if you have stored blood sugar in your liver does a dump around 2 o'clock in the morning. And I know for a while there, I was waking up 2 o'clock every morning. And there's something called the dawn effect. And a lot of people have the dawn effect. So what Nancy Jean is saying, the dawn effect is when your body produces more cortisol, which increases your blood sugar, and then the body dumps it. So it's still, your body's getting rid of it, which is a good thing. Now your muscles will get rid of it through exercise. And the other thing, another way to help detox the liver is through coffee enemas. Not everybody is into that, but it works. And then your body can store sugar in your fat. And you can be thin, and the fat can be around your organs. So you can look thin, but your organs aren't particularly thin. They can be congested. So, and then the brain and the eyes. All right. Okay. Yes. So Dr. Berg talks about you can get salt, gallbladder salts. They're called something salts, and you can use that. So it's you need to supplement what's going on with your gallbladder through the digestion process. So, you don't want me to finish the fasting benefits on the 10th? Okay. So the 48-hour fast, which is 2 days, it resets the dopamine receptors. It reduces anxiety and depression. It has an anti-aging, antioxidant, produces antioxidant production. And the HGH, human growth hormone, increases by 500%. That's 2 days. A lot of people do a 3-day fast. I think that if you're going to get into that, you really need to be under the guidance of someone, not just take these on by themselves. Dr. Mindy Pelz was talking about, she guides people through all of these fasts, and one person that was in her group contacted her and said, I'm really feeling awful. I'm feeling kind of dizzy. I'm feeling, sick to my stomach. I'm feeling all these things. And she said, you need to stop your fast immediately. And she said she didn't do that. She said, well, she thought, well, I'm just going to push through. Well, she ended up passing out and broke something, got a concussion, and really hurt herself. So if you're not making it the first time around from trying these things, there'll be other times. Don't try and push through, because your body may not be acclimated enough yet to do these. I mean, you just don't go into these longer fasts, and these really aren't that long. Some people do seven days a week. Some people do longer. So the 72-hour fast, which is the 3 days, that's where you have peak autophagy. Your immune stem cells start generating. Musculoskeletal stem cells generate. Chronic conditions and accelerated maybe, I've had a pain in my shoulder for a year and I don't understand why it is. Well, when you go into a 72-hour fast, it repairs those things. So it's pretty to make all those stem cells. it's pretty important, but I would not advise it unless you have someone that's coaching you through it. So, how do you get in touch with me? Is that what you want me to say? Okay, so you can get in touch with me through my website, which is intrepidhealthswellness.com, or you can get in touch with me via my email, which is, what is my email? What is my email, Nancy Jane? I sent it to you. It's in intrepidhealthstrategies@gmail.com. It's brand new to me, so I'm my mind kind of left me there. So either one of those ways. The things that I do hair tissue mineral analysis, where I take a sample of a person's hair and I find out what's going on in their body, what their deficiencies are, if they're diabetic, if they're pre-diabetic, if they have heart disease. There's a whole, if they have, a lot of people have biounavailable copper in their system, and you'll know that because people have terrible anxiety. So that's one of the things that I do. I work with the I work with, but the emotion codes is it's the sympathetic nervous system. So if you have traumas that are hidden in your body, whether it's from birth, whether it's from a generational trauma, that can show up. And my specialty with the emotion code is actually, and I had just, did my thing with them and found out, where the traumas were, and I was walking away, or so to speak, and I hear in my head, the hay tastes funny. I was working on a horse. And I went, excuse me? And that started a whole dialogue. And the hay tasted funny. There was something wrong with the water. There was also, he didn't like it when she showed up with this red lead to bring him in. And he told me, I want her, I don't like that. I want her to just come up to me, turn around, tap her left shoulder, and I will follow her. I said, okay. And then she had other animals, and one of her other animals was stealing food from the other animals. This was a dog. And come to find out, it was because the person that owned the dog beforehand had Alzheimer's and would forget to feed him. So, I mean, all kinds of good information. I had, I'm from the East Coast. I was working on some horses from Las Vegas. And, one of them told me that he was afraid he could smell fire. And he told me that there was a fire brewing in the electrical box, that a rodent was eating wires, and the owner checked, and all of those things were true. And the electrical box got changed, and hopefully the lives of them and their family. So that's another thing I do. I'm also a Reiki Master. I do craniosacral work. I do, not only do I do craniosacral, I can do a health scan on the body. Craniosacral is working with the nervous system and with the craniosacral fluid. And I've been trained in not only I've been trained in 3 different types of craniosacral, and that I have been doing remotely for years. So doesn't matter if anywhere in the world I can adjust you. What have I forgotten? It isn't so much as a copper deficiency. Actually, it is a copper deficiency, but it's bio-unavailable copper. So your body has too much copper. So and it doesn't have it's not being absorbed in the body. So just like the sugar, your body squirrels it away in different places, and you become copper toxic. I know that they say that the bracelets are good for people who have arthritis and those things, but you know, I would steer away from that because I've seen too much with people think they're going crazy, right? Unless you know what your condition is. Like copper IUD. I mean, that women have a terrible time of that. Polycystic ovary syndrome. That's all caused from the root cause is copper. Now, a lot of people have copper in their pipes, and I mean, it's a very serious thing. Anyways, what's the dog's name? Oh, what's your dog's name? Um, we're having buffering problems. I mean, I'm seeing a medium-sized dog. Is that your dog? Uh, um, looking the patio. It's Georgia. Boy, there is something on that patio that it likes. Now, the sense that I have, so I was, okay, I'm kind of locked in then. The sense that I have is that something travels through there. I mean, is this an open patio where other animals can come? Because somebody's shoe or another animal that dog finds pretty interesting. You know, could it be ants? I'm wondering if it might be ants. It could be a burrowing critter. I mean, that's common for up here. It's common for like rodents. But I am thinking if there's anything there, I see sand, and I think there might be ants. Oh, she sprayed, and now the dog is licking it. So sometimes the sprays are very toxic, but it's very enticing to animals. Like what's that stuff you put in your car? Antifreeze. You know, antifreeze is so very toxic, but it's to an animal, it's kind of like dessert. So you have to be very careful with what you spray. I'd be careful. You have a hair analysis. You can also have, there are certain types of blood tests, but blood is really not very good for blood is something that is a homeostatic fluid. It just maintains homeostasis. So it keeps you alive. And it's an exit. It gets rid of things. Hair tissue is like a biopsy. So I look at that. You go on my site and you can see the different, I have a chart up there of what I do. I would have a hair analysis, and I tell you, women need copper, men need zinc. Zinc and opposite. The majority are copper toxic. Copper is because copper is a very, very emotional metal. Iron, you see somebody having road rage problems, he's got too much iron in his system or her system. So there's a signature with each metal. You're looking like there's another question. Oh, I have no idea. We can't help you with mold. Mold in the house, maybe. But you can get rid of mold with peroxide. Peroxide is a wonderful thing, and peroxide isn't dangerous. It's not going to poison the dog or anything. Uh-oh. An hour, practically. Oh. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Again, you can find me at on my website at intrepidhealthiswellness.com and Intrepid Health Strategies, intrepidhealthstrategies at gmail.com is my email address. And what else do I want to say? If you missed this, don't worry, because it is being recorded, and Nancy Jean will post the recording later. So thank you very much for being here. Nancy apologizes for the inconvenience of not being able to participate, but she said that if she tried to fix the problem, it could have possibly been worse. So she decided that it would be best to go this way. But you believe me, there is a recording someplace, and she will post it so you won't miss anything. And thank you so very much. Nancy, I didn't hear. Thank you for joining in our. Thank you for this being in this. Enjoying the solstice with us, and we're going into the light. So this is like a very, very special day. And it's a time of the year to go within. So enjoy your inward time, and God bless.